Hi all, welcome to another video. Today is March 18th. I did not post for past couple of days. I think the last trade log I posted was on 15th. So I'll go over the trades that I did for past 3 days. I've had a couple of decent days and one bad trading day, but it was all within the stipulated setups that I had. So let's go over and see what trades that I took and how did they fare uh, during that time. So let's look over the 16th. This is 16th of March. I did couple of trades here. So as you can see here on the left hand side, I went long on the pullback to the 8 EMA, and then again I averaged out when it came down further. I averaged out here when it was 21 EMA. So and then the moment I averaged out all three, it went up and hit my profit, and I took the profit here. And the next one you can see, this was not a great trade. I took on the assumption that this is you know this is right around here, so 80 MA and bouncing, and but then I was slow to enter and I entered at wrong place, so I closed out for a small loss. These were the only two trades that I took on March 16th. Let's move on to March 17th. You can see there was a lot of volatility on 16th. I did not trade further. Let's go to March 17 and see what we did there. So this was March 17. This was a day I took some daily drawdown, almost close to daily drawdown limit of stock. The loss. So let's look at what happened and why that happened. Okay, I am not sure why this isn't showing here. It's supposed to have entries here, but apparently it is not showing. I'm not sure, maybe the connection would have gone. Okay, moving on, I'll say the approximate entries that I took and the stop loss that I took. So as you can see here, the market bounced higher and then started retracing, and I took, I believe, my first entry somewhere here. I thought 80 MA won't even get hit because the momentum was higher. I took it around plus 2 ATR, and then again I averaged around the 2 ATR level, and then I saw that price keeps falling, and then 0 ATR bounced well. So when it bounced well and then there was a small retracement, I took a trade, another average here. So I took 3 entries in this one based on all the setups, 0 ATR, 21 CDV and 8 CDV. But then the market never bounced. There was no momentum after that, and it hit my stop loss. And I think I took stop loss around 200 EMA, and after that, or just below the 200 EMA. After that, it flushed further, but then the rest of the day it kept going up. It's just one of those days where it doesn't work out in your favor. But then I was close to my lower limit of the drawdown for the day, so I did not trade further on the day. I just left it at that. Let's look over for today's trade. I think I lost connection. That's why this is not showing my trades. Oh no, okay. At least for today's trade it's showing. I think it is not showing my losses. But we did talk. It was close to a daily drawdown. I had 3 entries, and then all the 3 eventually ended with SL. So I did not trade further, like I said. So let's look at today. Today again I took, I believe, two trades today. Um, and this is Friday, so usually Friday is kind of a caution day. I don't trade much, um, but then when the good entries present themselves, you take the trade. Um, let's look at the trades that I took. The first trade I took was around here. You can see it was around the 8 EMA, and then I saw it. When it was flushing further down, it was nearing the 0 ATR, and I saw it is not going all the way to 21 EMA, but then I was fine with the entry here because I took, I think, around like 60 or something. Even if it flushed, it will only be like another 20 points at best. So I went ahead and took the trade, average down here, and then it hit my profit once the move established over here. And then I think I scaled one here, and then the next one hit my trailing stop here. And then there was another trade setup. It was here. You can see it came down to 21 EMA, but then the market did not make good higher high. But then I still went ahead and took the entry a bit late. I took the entry, as you can see here. I went long here, but then market pushed higher, came back for my break even. If I had, I think I reduced the break even size, so it got hit. Otherwise, if I had held it, that this would also been a good winner. But then I was just sticking to my position size, and it's a Friday. Most Fridays market dangles around, but this Friday it just grinded higher. But then you go with higher probability of market showing signs of reversals and things on Friday. So I went with that idea. I took only one contract here, and then closed out for the break even when it hit my break even stop. I did not trade further, even though there were a couple of other setups that presented itself, like for example here. But then you can see the Bollinger Bands have shrunk, but then it's still a 21 CDV, and this is a Friday, so no more trades after you already have a good winner. That was all, and this past 3 days was a good example of how to continue to trust your setup, irrespective of whether you take the loss or always win. Since beginning of this month, I think I've had one red day, and that too was a it's a break even kind of red day. I did not lose much money. I think this is the Friday was the sorry, not Friday. Thursday was the first time I had. Thursday was the first time. The 17th was the first time I had close to the daily drawdown limit for my trade setup. But then that I did not trade bad. I traded the setups that I usually do, but then market decided to do its own thing rather than doing the high probability stuff. That's why we always say it as a probability, not a guaranteed stuff. So the probability sometimes goes against you, but then you stuck to your process and you took a trade based on your setups. Then even if it is a down day, you should be at the end of the trading day, your thinking should be that you did the right thing because you stuck to your rules and you did what your setup demanded. Just because I took a loss yesterday, if I had doubted myself and then not go into a trade here when it was pushing down, if I did not enter my trade here and average out here, I would have not got the winner that I got here. I would have not got the winner when it climbed up. My if any kind of doubt in my setup creeped in, then there's no way I'm getting here, and then when it's going lower, I'm averaging it. My mind will always be thinking, oh, it's going against me again, I have to close it. But no, when you have a proper setup that is tested out and has been working good for you, you trust the setup and then stick to it. So as long as you have the risk management in control and a setup that has a good probability of success, you can make money in the market. So that is what I did here, and I was happy even when I took the loss on Thursday. I was happy that it was a loss taken based on a proper setup. If that was a setup or a trade that I took without looking at without looking at my trading routes, and if it was not my setup, then I would have been bitter with myself. But then that was not the case. That is why I came in today with a clear mind. It's fresh start again. You look at your setup, you go in, trade your setup. So always remember that when you're doing trading, it's all about having your sticking to your rules, and then playing according to the risk profile that you can afford. That pays you money, and that gives your or keeps your equity curve of your portfolio trajectory towards the higher side. And making money happens in the back when you stick to the process and do that consistently over and over. The making money part automatically takes care of itself. Okay, I think that's enough for the day. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, and you can subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments, just post it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.